Rachel Zegler is public enemy number one, and people cannot stand her, and that's because she always continues to make a fool of herself, and she always has something to say. Now it is so bad to where there are fake stories going viral because people cannot stand her. She has slammed Snow White so bad in regards that it's no longer 1937 and that Snow White doesn't need a man to save her and all that nonsense. It's gone so far that the original Snow White director's son has completely gone off on Rachel Zegler, saying, quite frankly, it's insulting. Original Snow White director's son vehemently slams Disney live-action remake. The son of the director of Disney's animated Snow White and The Seven Dwarfs has slammed the upcoming live-action Snow White movie starring Rachel Zegler. Snow White stars Zegler as the titular character opposite Gal Gadot's Evil Queen. The film has been the subject of backlash through partially due to Zegler, who is of Colombian heritage, being cast as Snow White. And this is what the director's son had to say about the upcoming Snow White remake. Quote, "It's a whole different concept and I just totally disagree with it. And I know my dad and Walt would also very much disagree with it. I disagree with this whole new concept. It's a disgrace Disney is trying to do something new with something that was such a great success earlier. Their thoughts are just so radical now. They changed the stories, they changed the thought process of the characters. They're making up whole new woke things, and I'm just not into any of that. I find it, quite frankly, a bit insulting what they may have done with some of these classic films. There's no respect for what Disney did and what my dad did. I think Walt and he would be turning in their graves. He is completely against this live action remake, and sounds like he's not the biggest fan of Rachel Zegler completely destroying this movie every time she gets a chance in public. It seems like she's embarrassed herself multiple times, and then she's gone out and said that she was scared of Snow White, and then she kept saying how much she hated Snow White, and then she went back and said that she loved Snow White and Snow White was her favorite character of all time. She keeps making a fool of herself for practically nothing but an agenda, and that is pretty sad. And she's done it multiple times with other films. During the Shazam 2 premiere, she was asked the question, and then she said, "I'm just here pretty much because I need a job." She's done it her whole career, and it doesn't look like she's going to calm down anytime soon. Now, the fake story that went completely viral was a parody site named Mousetrap News, and they came out with the headline, "Disney officially cancels the live-action Snow White movie." And so many people bought this and were so happy that they went on to Twitter and so many social media sites and just praised it. If you scroll down to the very bottom, it says, "To stay up to date with more very real Disney news like this totally made-up story, be sure to follow Mousetrap News on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter." So it even says in the article that it is fake, but people hate this upcoming Snow White movie so much that they completely bought it, and they didn't even read the article. They just saw the headline and started going off about it. That forced other credible news sources who write headlines that Disney's Snow White remake hasn't been canceled, but it may end up being delayed. And the reason it might end up being delayed is because of the actor strike, and then Dune Part 2 was delayed a week before this movie comes out, and Dune Part 2 would run all over this movie and kill everything this movie had, even though this movie's pretty much already DOA with Rachel Zegler. But as you can see here, it all started when a parody site, Mousetrap News, posted a story claiming the studio had pulled the plug on this controversial remake, unaware that it was meant in jest. Thousands of people have flocked to X and TikTok to declare victory in their war against Snow White. Despite what you might have seen, Snow White has not been canceled by Disney. Rachel Zegler is public enemy number one in the eyes of the public. They hate her. They hate every time she has to speak. And quite frankly, she is the most unlikable person I've ever seen in Hollywood. And she easily passes Brie Larson for being the most unlikable human being in Hollywood. But at least Brie Larson is trying to reinvent herself and move on. But anyway, that's all for me. If you liked the video, hit the like button, comment your guys' thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.